What's going on, everybody? It's Selna here, America's face of dating, and today we're going to be doing a unique one, as you can see here, but I'm going to be showing you really just on paper how I got my dream girl and how I taught a bunch of guys in my program to do the exact same thing. And if you do these things right and you build that initial foundation, it's going to help you win your dream girl pretty quickly. And most guys just aren't doing these things, and that's why you have to stay till the end of the video to really just see what we're doing here in my program and my program arrows to really help these guys win their dream girl just like I have. And I'll have some funny stories for you in a second. But, as you can see about, with applying this stuff, you can see that Blake here, he joined my program about, I think it was about like 6 months ago. And he started off pretty rough. Like he was getting rejected and friend zoned by just girls that he was trying to go after. And he didn't really know how to have that natural attraction that it seems like some guys just seem like they just get it, right? And some guys just don't. And Blake felt like he was one of the ones that didn't. But as you can see in this picture here, he got his first relationship ever. This was just he sent it in, I believe it was 4 days ago. He just got his first relationship ever. And I'm just so happy for him, man. And as you can see next to him, we got Danny here. This is a picture on his Instagram of him and his dream girl. And he started off my program just super, I guess, he was in a bad state, let's just say. Like, he was going through a really toxic breakup with this toxic girlfriend, and now, as you can see, he's in his dream relationship, going on cruises. He's an entrepreneur in Australia as well, so he's running his own business, and he's absolutely fucking crushing it. But then we have Renee here. He lives over there. I believe he's another entrepreneur in Central America. He had his beach condo somewhere on the beach out there, man. It's beautiful out there. But he was also dealing with a toxic girlfriend, and they split up, and he met his dream girl, as you can see in this picture right here. So just super epic. But I'll show you kind of how I did the same thing and just what they're really doing that just really separated them from the crowd, and they're winning dime pieces that guys are just going after and wanting. But number one, just really how I got my dream girl here is just the highs and the lows. I was on a call yesterday with a guy that's going to join my program, and he was just talking about how, like, sometimes it's super high and super low where, like, his game is on fire, but then other times it's just super low and it's like he doesn't know what to say, and he feels like he's really just caught up in his head, and feels like he's just spitting fire sometimes, right? And then the other times it's just like he just feels like complete shit. Just complete shit. And it's because you're putting the girl on a pedestal, right? Lame pickup lines or lame dating apps. It's like you need to get off the dating apps if you really want to meet a high quality chick and really be one of these guys in these three pictures. And especially just like me, you got to get off the dating apps. You're not going to meet your wife on the dating apps, and I absolutely hate it when coaches are teaching dating app bullshit because it just doesn't work. Like, you're going to get lucky. It's very unpredictable and inconsistent. If you want a more consistent process, then just book a call in the description below, join my program, hop on a call with me, we'll get you rolling to get an actual consistent, predictable process to win your dream girl. But the reason that lame pickup lines and dating apps just do not work is because dating apps already are in the girl's favor, and they already put the girl on a pedestal where she probably has like 20 or 30 guys chasing. There was a study done that literally went like this, is that they had, I believe, 3 people make profiles of these models on these dating apps, and they got over, I think it was 80 or 100 matches per day from guys. And so you're already putting the girl on a pedestal if you're on the dating app anyways, and especially pickup lines. The only reason you're saying pickup lines is because you're trying to get a quick laugh from the girl, which means you're already putting her on a pedestal. So never say lame pickup lines, and just don't be on the dating apps. Like, when you're chasing the girl, you're going to have highs and lows, right? That's just a given. Because you're chasing her, right? You're putting her on a pedestal, and you're really putting her above you. And women want the guy that's on her level, if not above her level. So it's like when you're chasing the girl and already on the dating apps or doing lame pickup lines, you're already putting yourself in the position of chasing and neediness, which turns women off completely instead of naturally attracting them, right? Naturally attracting them. And right now you're probably feeling frustrated or annoyed and burnt out because, like I said, that process is just so inconsistent. There's so many highs and lows because you don't just have a solid foundation and a solid process of how to actually naturally attract the girl. And it's like the girls on the dating apps, man, they're not even responding, or she ghosted you, and these lame pickup lines, they get a laugh, but eventually you can't get the date, right? A lot of guys that talk to me say they just can't get past date number 1. And like I said, dude, if you guys can't get past date number 1, book a call in the link below in the description. Book a call with me. Let's get you rolling in the program, man. Like, I don't know why you're wasting time. Number 2, though, it's improve their lifestyle. If you're not already making money, right? If you're not already making money, working on your health, and overall just have a decent life, you should not be focused on girls, man. You just shouldn't be. How are you gonna date if you have no money? How are you gonna date if you have no money? Because I'll tell you that dating while being broke and dating while being rich is a completely different experience, and I mean different in a good way. It's just so much better, man. And you should be focused on improving your lifestyle, right? When I was working on my business, I was in Cancun, as you can see, and my girlfriend was there too, and that's how we met, was in Cancun. And she had all these guys coming after her, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm just gonna be focused on myself, working on my business, really working on my hustle, getting this thing going. I was sitting back, right, working on my laptop, and eventually she actually came up to me. She actually did the initial approach. I believe it was the initial approach. We kind of got put together at one point, introduced each other, kind of like, you know, on a whim together, but nothing really came of it. And then she actually came to me later that trip and started talking to me, and you know, the rest was history. But you need to have that initial foundation, you know, or else you won't be able to keep the girl if you don't have that initial foundation of, like, you're already making money, you're working on your health, and girls are naturally, and then being able to know how to naturally attract girls. Remember, I was in Cancun, and how we met, this is literally a highlight on my Instagram stories. You can see right here, the paint on my arm and everything. I went to Senior Frogs, and they painted on my arm, and then I came back to the resort, and I went to the club at the resort, so I was like, hey, I'm not even done partying yet, baby. I'm ready to go, right? And my girlfriend and her twin sister were actually in the club at that time, and my girlfriend, who was not my girlfriend yet, because we just met, but she loved me, of course, obviously, you know. It's just me, man. But she came up to me, and she was like, what were you doing? Like, where were you at? That looks so fucking cool. She came up to me because she had, like, an interesting opener, right? And that's something part of the initial foundations, that you guys should have, like, something about you that's unique that makes the girl want to actually open you and talk to you. And when you have this going like this, you're going to eventually end up like this right here when we're on a boat in Mexico again. This is actually in Cabo. About a couple months ago, we went on a vacation. We call it a vacation. So cute, right? But yeah, that's her wrapped around me, obviously, claiming her territory. Good girl. But number 3 is that you can't fear judgment, right? And this is a weird one. Like, I get that. Most guys would be like, why is he bringing this up? And I don't want to be like the dating guy online, right? Like all the other fucking bums or dating app coaches or just people that try to act like they're rich, and they're just like, you need to have a good mustache, and you need to have a lot of money, and you need to have some confidence. They don't give advice that actually fucking helps. I can't stand those guys. Don't listen to those guys. Stay here. We're going to get you right. But if you fear judgment, you won't be able to deep down bond with the girl because you'll be afraid of opening up and expressing yourself. And a lot of this too is like, a lot of guys will reject dating advice, right? They will reject dating advice and relationship advice. Let me just fix that actually. Relationship advice. Oh, it says no spelling error. Relationship advice, because they feel weak when they do it, right? They feel weak when they do it, when that's actually not the case. Strong men realize that they need to work what they need to work on, and they actively invest in those skills needed to rid themselves of that weakness. If you're afraid of being judged because you're getting dating advice or whatever, it's going to hurt your ability to pair bond with the girl, because you're sitting there afraid of what she's going to think about you. And if you're sitting there thinking about, oh, what is she going to think about me, or what is she going to care about me, like, oh my god, what if she finds out that I'm getting dating advice, you're just automatically going to assume that she views you as weak. And that's just not the case, right? Strong men know exactly what they need to work on. And girls want the man that doesn't care what others think, right? My girlfriend could tell, literally when I was there in Cancun, when she talked to me, that I really couldn't care less, obviously, according to this picture right here, what people thought of me. I just didn't give a fuck, because I was like, you know what? I know exactly where I'm going. I know the value I give. I don't give a fuck what people think about me. So it's like, if I was getting dating advice or whatever at the time, I was like, whatever, I'll talk about it, because you know what? I'm passionate about it, and I want to learn, I want to grow, and I want a girl who's like that as well, who wants to grow and learn, and I want followers who like that as well, and people are in my program who are like that as well, who are like, you know what? I want to grow, I want to never stop learning, and I want to literally reach my peak moments before I die, because I keep going and going and learning and learning and learning. That's the kind of guys that I want to work with right there. I remember I called her hot too. Like, I was sitting there, I just didn't care about what people thought about me, and I was like, yeah, I was like, you know, you're hot, but I still want something more in a relationship. Like if I was gonna date someone, I want more in a relationship. And she was like, yeah, like me too. Like, yeah, you're attractive too. Obviously, you have nice muscles and everything, whatever she said. And, you know, all the compliments she could list out about me. Like, Jesus, she went on forever, right? But she was like, you're attractive too. And, you know, I could date you and, you know, but I'd want more than that. I want this, this, and this. And we talked about like past relationships and we bonded over that, right? And it's just separated me from every other guy at the resort who was just drooling over her ass. Being blunt about it, right? But the truth. But number 4 and final thing here is that you have to know natural attraction, right? When you're face to face with a dime piece, that your friend's jaws would hit the fucking table if they saw you talking to, you have to know how to talk to her, right? You have to know how to actually talk. You have to know how to talk to her. You have to know how to flirt with her. And there's nothing like fucking it all up and saying something really stupid, and the girl's just like, oh wow, I have to go back to my friends now. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. And then she like makes fun of you, right? Let's say you're face to face with this beautiful chick in just this tight red dress or tight sparkling black dress, let's say, right? And you're talking to her, and she's testing you. She's throwing all these tests at you in the club, like you're short or you have no ass, right? And that's the one I used to get when I was super skinny back in the day. They'd be like, you have no ass. And I'd just be like, baby, we match. And it would just work every single time. But you have to know how to actually naturally attract these girls, right? And it's like when you don't know how to naturally attract these girls and know how to pass these tests and know exactly what they're thinking before they even know what they're thinking, you understand women down to that core fundamental level, you're never going to struggle with dating again. Like you're going to always have women to date. You're never not going to have women to date because you're just going to be so separated from every other guy that's in the competition. Like girls are just going to choose you first. And if you're tired of being put second and you're getting ghosted and you're getting rejected by girls, you just book a call in the link in the description below with me and let's get you in my program. Let's get you onboarded. Bring your credit card. Let's get you going. I don't know why you're wasting time if you still are. Right? And if you still have questions about it or whatever, like, dude, just send me a message on Instagram and tell me that you're directly from YouTube because we get a fuck ton of guys on my Instagram, just in general from the reels and stuff we post. We get a lot of messages during the day, probably like 100 or 200 a day. So say like, yo, I'm this guy. I just saw your video. I'm directly from YouTube. Can you please respond to me or get back to me? And that'll tell me that you're actually priority from YouTube and we'll get back to you first before all the other guys that are coming from TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. We'll get back to you first. And so, like I said, I know what it's like. Like I know what it's like to be getting ghosted and getting rejected by girls, and it's painful and it sucks, and it's really just a high and low process. And if you're still having these highs and lows, let's just get you on board into my program. Stop wasting time, so you can actually enjoy the rest of your life and travel the world with someone who's actually special to you, a special companion to you. Like we got your back. We're gonna get you there, man. So, if you have any other questions about it, just message me on Instagram. Say you're from YouTube. We'll prioritize you. And we'll get back to you ASAP. And so that's the steps that you need to take to win your dream girl. I'm Selna Kim, America's face of dating, and I'll see you guys next time.